Boxing Voice.
Now that you took on your role as an announcer, I'd like to ask you, what fight are you most looking forward to for the end of this final half of the boxing schedule?
I don't know yet, because we don't have the full schedule for the whole year, but I'm just excited to, that I always know the end of the year. The boxing always ends the year with a bang, especially these last few years. So I think from that perspective, we're gonna have some good fights. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one that really stands out to me that I'm looking forward to seeing like crazy. But if they can make a Canelo and Cotto fight this year, it will be something unbelievable. I mean, there's a lot of talking about a lot of possible different fights, but we'll see what ones actually get made.
Well, one man that keeps not only defying time, but continuously making history, I'm pretty sure is a mentor of yours, Bernard Hopkins. He just signed this Saturday night to fight Kovalev. There was stipulation in that contract. Had Kovalev not beat his fight and left with the title, that wouldn't have took place. He did that by knocking out his opponent. So Bernard Hopkins, I mean, 50 years old, going in versus a guy that no one really wants to face. What does he have left to prove, and why is he doing it?
I don't know, man. I tell you, that's the toughest fight he could have took. I give him a lot of credit, man. It puts the respect for Bernard that people should have in a different perspective, because that's a very tough fight. And when you're in a guy like Bernard's shoes, who has accomplished so much and already has that big name, you don't have to take so many chances, and still keep the title. Like I thought the Shumanov fight was a good fight for him. It was a guy who had a world title, but a beatable guy. Kovalev, man, you're raising the stakes here, man. I mean, Bernard is literally going all in right now, and so you gotta give credit for doing that. That's a scary guy to fight, man. Sergey Kovalev is a scary guy to fight. That Hopkins-Kovalev fight is interesting because of the reputation Hopkins has. But at this moment in time, man, Kovalev just looks indestructible. It's something else. It's something else, man.
Now, what does this mean for the boxing fan? I mean, us hardcores know that clearly this is huge. Bernard Hopkins is a golden boy fighter. He's a Showtime fighter. This is going to happen on HBO. I mean, two networks working together or two promoters working. I mean, this is basically unheard of for the past couple of years.
I mean, you'd rather have everybody working together anyway. You'd rather have the big fights, as big a fight as possible, get made. Now the problem is Adonis Stevenson kind of gets left in the cold. But if we get to see a Stevenson-Pascal fight in the meantime, and then maybe Kovalev and Hopkins fight each other, and then the winners go up ahead against it head-to-head, sort of a mini tournament kind of style. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. You get two great fights out of it, and maybe you get the third fight if the winners fight each other, and maybe the losers should fight each other too. So you still got great matchups either way.
Now, one Floyd Mayweather always makes reference to being the best ever, but I guess a case has to be made for Bernard Hopkins at this point. Winning championships, defending them at this age, taking on the most dangerous fighters. If you think back throughout his career, all the defenses he made at middleweight, the win over De La Hoya, Trinidad, the names go on and on.
Yeah, Bernard has certainly cemented his place and his legacy in boxing history, and has to be looked at. You have to look at that with respect. You cannot disrespect the achievements. You can't take it away from him, and so from that perspective, you certainly have to. When you talk about all-time great fighters, you have to look at Bernard Hopkins as well.
The Boxing Voice.